Morning, everybody. Welcome back to Little Shop of Nightmares. It's cold here this morning, but a friend of mine asked me to make a video going all out as far as detailing everything, as far as the steps to making my pins and things. And so I'll apologize for the length of this, and probably the quality as well. But I want to do my best to go through all the details, all the steps and everything, and I'll get moved around here and we'll get started. All right, I think that light's warmed up enough now we might be able to see, or well, you guys might be able to see. I can see, but anyway, this is a piece of the driftwood that I found and cut up into pieces to make blanks with. This is a little different. I think this is locust. I'm not sure. I've made one pin with it, and it's not super hard, but it's pretty hard. And yeah, your host is an idiot. I went to download all the footage off of GoPro and I hit delete instead of download, and well, so here we are. I've already done this once, but anyway, I thought instead of deer antler, this is an alternative ivory project blank. Craft Supplies USA sells them. I do not know what they cost. I do not remember. But my deer antler's getting a little thin over there as far as diameter to be able to use, and I'm not sure about turning it cross grain, because it does have a grain structure to it. But anyway, let's see if we can get a blank solid out of this, and we might be able to make something here. And then again, we may not be able to. I don't know. We'll find out. Deer antler after all. I found another piece. Let's see. I'm trying to get rid of as much of that knot as I can. Maybe not. Trying to find me some blocking material. Let's cut a piece of this too, just to be on, just because we can. We might put 2 pieces in. It'll be a Slimline kit, so there's room for 2. There's my ruler. Now I know that my Slimline kits require about 2 1/4 inches. I think it's actually 2 1/8, but I always cut about 2 1/4. It gives me a little room for, a little bit of wiggle room. I don't know if you can see my ruler or not. Probably not, because I can barely see it myself. But we're also going to be putting some, we'll be adding some to it. So see what we can do here. Get our miter gauge up. It don't have to be exactly perfect, but close helps a little, you know. If it has to be absolutely perfect, it won't come out of this shop, I promise. Be right back. I got to mark with. I think a guy that makes as many pins as I do would have one on him at all times, and generally I do, but some days. All right. Made a little marker. We're going to try to get rid of this little area, this busted out place. Maybe. You guys can see it. That's just something that, yeah, I could fill it with super glue, but, and probably, you know, I'm still going to have to fill part of it, but I don't want to do any more of that than I have to. It just, I don't know. It'll look all right, but it'll be, at this temperature, it'll be fragile. So we're still going to have to fill part of it, whether we like the idea of it or not. I'm going to put a little bit of angle on this, not much. I've already, that's what I've done. I marked my deer antler, how much I've got to take out for it. It'll be wild looking. Cool. With my pen. sure we get those sides back together. What to do with my other. In the ivory piece, we're just going to pick a random spot and go with it. Alright, I'll get you guys moved over here and hopefully set up where you can see on the sander. I'll bring you back. Alright, hopefully y'all can see. We'll get it started here. It don't take a whole lot. Just trying to turn off the little bit of rough edge off there. That's all it is. Alright, that's got that. Let me move it around again. Alright, got you set up. Got our glue warmed up a little bit. You remember our marks we made? We want to make sure we line those up, which I mean it shouldn't be hard to do. Really, it shouldn't really even be an issue at all. Because, well, they're cut on the same angle. They're going back the same piece of wood. I don't know why I even mentioned it, but hey, whatever. Now, I've already prepped this surface. My I should have prepped my fingers too, I think. My drill press table, I put some finishing wax on there, and the finishing wax will not let it won't let the super glue stick to the drill press table. Throw a little accelerator on there. I do not know if it'll work in this temperature, and I'll probably regret doing it later, but it looks like it is. Held together. Over there, let it dry a little bit. Find us something here to see how easy that glue just slips right off of there. Even a dull chisel can push it off. A little more wax down here just because probably pulled some off with it. Don't worry, it won't hurt your equipment. If anything, it'll make it slicker. Car wax actually works a little bit better for that, but Poor man got poor ways. You got to do what you got to do with what you got to do with. So that's what I'm doing. You see on our deer antler, we're trying to keep the meaty part of it in there, in the center of our blank, much of it as we can. Might have to go at it a little bit different with this one, because it stuck faster than I expected it to. I'll let that dry for a few minutes, so I'll get it back over on the sander and I'll bring you back. While we're waiting on our blanks to dry, now's as good a time to prep our blanks as any, or our tubes. And you don't have to do them this way. I rarely do it this way, but I figure I'm here, so might as well. We just roughing them up a little bit is all we're wanting to do. And I roughed it up pretty good right there. Gives the glue something to bite to. You don't need much pressure on them. You just want them kind of snug enough to hold. If you put too much pressure on it, it'll actually shove it up in that bushing. Ask me how I know. Mainly because I've seen me do it. But anyway, we're gonna wait on glue to dry. All right, we're back to bandsaw. We gotta cut this blank off a little bit. A little bit too long. We're gonna shave it down a little bit. When we're shaving that down, we don't want to shave off the end that meets up to our other piece. You know, because we want to try to keep our grain going best we can. I'll get you the drill press and get you fired back up. All right, our glue should be dry enough. All we're wanting to do is square this up a little bit. That should have it squared up enough to go in a drill vise and get drilled. I don't move things around. All right, we've got the first one thrown in the drill press. I don't normally do this, but I've got somebody standing in my way, so I'm just going to do my best to find us a center place, center point, and mark it out somewhere in that general vicinity. I use a brad point drill bit on this. I don't know. I'll show it in a minute. We got us a hole. Main thing to remember, and I think I've said this before, is don't get in a hurry when you're drilling. It's not going to help you any. Make sure you're cleaning your bit and things. And that up another notch or two. There we go. Let's see if we can find center on this one. Somewhere thereabouts. So that's pretty close to the middle. Take one of our tubes, make sure they'll fit without any issues, and they fit pretty good. That one does. This one might need a little work. It'll be alright. Alrighty. Let me get my other tube over here and get my glue. Get me some stuff together here. Yeah, it'll work as good as anything else I got. it don't take a whole lot of glue to glue these up. There's one tube in the socket. Hopefully, yeah. I have to do something a little different, but I always try to glue them from my marked end where my grain's going to line up at, because I can pretty much almost guarantee that that's going to set up level. You ain't going to have to cut 1/8 of an inch off of it with a trimmer. It doesn't hurt to have to trim a little bit off of them, but off the blank. That way you know your fitments are all square and everything. But if you can, I don't know if the camera will pick it up or not, but you can see this blank's 1/8 of an inch too long, you know, at least. But that gives you a little bit of room to trim and square things up. And where your grain's meeting at from your top and your bottom, you don't want those you don't want them to not line up. But anyway, we're going to let that dry for a little while and then we'll throw it on the lathe. Alright, I'm back. I told you I'd show you that brad point. If you don't know, the camera will focus on it. But that's what's called a brad point drill bit. It just helps with precision. And you know, we're all about precision around here. We want it as accurate as humanly possible. That's why we're not clamping this in the die. You can just barely see when you're cutting that. You can just barely, you'll be able to see in your trimmer. But you just want to trim it back to, you just barely see a little ring of that bright brass there that lets you know, hey, you're there. And being a slimline kit, it doesn't have to be you don't have to have a lot of wood showing all the way around. I mean, you can kind of see where it's cut and where it hadn't, and that's probably plenty right there. There's a little, you know, there's a little leeway with the slimline kits. Well, with all the pin kits I've worked on, there's a little room for wiggle. Not a lot, but there's a little bit. That's got us trimmed. We'll get it in the lathe and get it chucked up, and we'll go from there. I'll bring you back. Alright, we got it thrown in the lathe, and maybe my noisy neighbors are gone. Let's fold up here a little bit and see what we can do. Oh, got all this porosity right there in that antler, and try to fill that a little bit, maybe. I'll let that sit up a minute and I'll bring y'all back. Alright. I forgot to hit record, but basically I just turned the lathe on kind of smooth and kind of slow and just kind of smoothed that out. Got our excess glue off. We're going to see if we can sand it out and finish it maybe. Over up here a little bit. looks pretty good. Get the Harbor Freight 1000 after it. I'm gonna throw a little slickum on there. Right. Got a little heat left to it. Let that soak in a little bit. Block of wax. We can get it worked in. I'm gonna call that finish done. I'm gonna get y'all over here in the stand and get this thing thrown in the press. If we can get it put together, I'll bring you back. All right, you can't see me, but I can see you. After I've dropped this thing about 14 times now, I just want to figure out where we want our pocket clip orientated at. I don't know, sometimes I use them sometimes to hide little flaws and defects and things, but I'm going to do, let's see, not right there somewhere. Kind of press them in part way, and just enough to kind of tension it. Then you can adjust it where you want it for sure. Give a little extra squeeze there, and she'll ride all right. We'll get her using chrome on this one, just because that was easy to get to for me. seated. Let's see if we can get this end seated. Stop a little bit shy of our groove. There's that little groove you see too all the time. I always stop a little shy of that. Then put my pin insert in and work it. So we need to go a little bit deeper on that one, because you can push it down a lot easier than you can back it up. They say they make tools to do that with, but I don't have one, and I've never seen anybody take one apart. And now we've got full adjustment, whatever extension, that's the word I'm looking for. And we'll just up here, this little collar just slips on there. We'll line us up best we can. I think that's going to be pretty close right there. And there we are, one completed ink pen. I'll get it up and get it better light here in just a second, and I'll bring you back. All right, folks. Light's a little bit better up here. You can kind of see a little bit how good the mystery wood looks. I don't know what it is, have no clue, but it's pretty neat looking. It's got real pretty grain structure and things to it, and I've honestly enjoyed turning pens out of it. This makes the second one. I'll put a photo at the end of this video of the other one, if I don't mess up and delete this video too. Let's hope I don't. This video will probably come out, I don't know, right around New Year's, maybe after. But anyway, if it posts before New Year's, y'all be safe, be careful, don't drink and drive, call a friend, or better yet, sit at the house. And if after New Year's, I hope you all had a safe and happy New Year, and like and subscribe. As always, thanks for your time, and we'll see you on the next one.